Monday, October 14th, 2024. Your Excellencies, distinguished delegates, our engagement in the last 3 years have been enriching and rewarding, particularly with speeches from people around the world who admonish us to stay the course in the implementation of current reforms. I was also thrilled by the frank discussions and no-holds-barred submissions made by the panelists at the plenaries. I was represented in Nasarawa last week at the meeting of National Council on Development Planning, and it is reassuring to note that state governors, honorable ministers, permanent secretaries, director generals of government agencies, directors of federal and state MDAs, civil society organizations, development partners, as well as captain of industry are interested in our development trajectory, and they are willing to participate, as indeed is confirmed by the participation in this year's summit. Without a doubt, the summit, as has been the case in the past, lived up to its billing. I note with satisfaction that participation in the annual summit attract experts from diverse backgrounds and help deepen and broaden citizens' collaboration and ownership in formulating government policies, particularly when you are undertaking bold, challenging, and risky reforms. You want to ensure that they are communicated clearly, and we are encouraged with the support that the reforms have been able to galvanize from the private sector and civil society organizations, as well as participants in this summit. It's very easy to criticize, but it's more important when we appreciate and interrogate and do better. All stakeholders that participated clearly demonstrated a commitment to working closely with government to take collaborative action for growth, competitiveness, and stability. From the inception of our administration, we understood and accepted that partnership with the private sector was essential for the country's economic growth and development. Over the last 3 days, this summit has facilitated deep and meaningful conversation among public, private, and civil society leaders. Together, we have created an environment of mutual respect and dialogue, which we believe will be to the admiration of other countries. This understanding has informed our engagement with the summit process, which has generated many policy recommendations for government action. Like the previous summits, the 30th summit was a huge success, not because of the high turnout of delegates, but because the plenary and concurrent sessions address the key issues that will guide our economic growth and development. I'm confident this year's summit will articulate the critical issues exhaustively discussed in the various sessions, especially the interactive panel session, expert forums, higher-level panels, CEO roundtables, and insight sessions. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is clear that implementing the current administration's priorities, particularly the 8 priority areas enumerated in the renewed hope agenda, which is the administration's vision and strategy for repositioning the economy for macroeconomic stability, growth, and development, require the support of all. Therefore, I urge the leadership of states, private sectors, civil society organizations, and development partners to join hands with the federal government to actualize the inclusive future we envisage and a Nigeria that works for all. I join in commending all and ensure and to assure that government will continue collaboration with the Nigerian Economic Summit Group to organize future summits. While awaiting the Green Book recommendations, I assure all participants, including business community members, that we shall align such recommendations with government priorities for implementation. Encouraged by the successes so far, that we are confident the economy has turned in the right direction. I'm sure one question that will be on the mind of many is, will they stay the course? Yes, we will stay the course, encouraged by the commitment we saw around the room. Once again, I congratulate all of you on participating in this summit and your usual contribution. I'm honored and privileged to declare the 30th Economic Summit closed. Thank you for your attention, and may God bless the Federal Republic.
Let's appreciate him one more time. Thank you very much. Thank you. The Honorable Minister of Planning and Budget and Economic Planning declaring the summit closed. Thank you, Honorable Minister. Please, let's be seated. Thank you. Apart from the great array of CEOs that attended this year's summit, heads of several professional groups are also here. I didn't even know that the 60th president of the Chartered Institute of Accountants, ICANN, Chief Davison Alaribe, FCA, was also in the audience. I welcome you. The Diamond President of ICANN, I welcome you. Thank you very much. So, Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I was looking at the similarity between our next speaker and NEST. And I found out that he's a dental surgeon. You know, dental surgeons have some qualities. They have leadership skills NEST has led in the last 30 years. You must have technical skills, or else some people's 32 teeth might become 4. They have patience. Over the years, in 30 years, it is patience that has led NSG. Analytical skills, so do NSG. Attention to details, yes. NSG has intellectuals that pay attention to details. Critical thinking, that's the main raw material for NSG. He's a dental surgeon and a wonderful civil servant. Permanent Secretary, Minister of Budget and National Planning. Welcome here, Dr. Vitalis Emeka Obi.
Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, the Chairman, Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Mr. Niyi Yusuf, Dr. Mohammed Hayatuddin, also the MD CEO of the Shell Development Corporation, Chairman and members of board, NESG, the Director General, Governors Forum, former Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Sarah Alade, representatives of the private sector, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning and the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, I thank the Almighty God for making this 38th Nigerian Economic Summit a huge success. Our special appreciation goes to His Excellency, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. He'll be represented by His Excellency, the Vice President, for his commitment to the success of this summit. We also thank His Excellency, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima GCN, for personally leading the presidential team and delivering the opening address and declaring the summit open. Your unwavering support to this summit process is well appreciated, Your Excellency. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to extend our sincere appreciation to the leadership and members of National Assembly, the judiciary, and state governors for participating actively during this three-day event. Their commitment to this summit demonstrates the determination of all arms and tiers of government to work with the private sector to realize the country's development aspirations. We are indeed very grateful to all honorable ministers, the head of the civil service of the Federation, my colleague permanent secretaries, and other senior officials of the government, both at federal and state levels, for their active participation in the summit. Also worthy of note to mention is our private sector partners who have worked round the clock to ensure the success of this summit. We appreciate you all. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me also use this opportunity to express our heartfelt appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, who is the co-host of this summit, for providing the direction and superintending over the summit process. Let me also thank the chairman of the Nigerian Economic Summit Group, Mr. Ni Yusuf, for all his efforts. He has once more demonstrated his commitment to this partnership. The CEO, NESG, Dr. Tayo Aduluju, also deserves our thanks for the leadership and commitment he has shown in coordinating these events. Thank you very much. Both the chairman and the CEO provided the needed inspiration to the members of the Joint Planning Committee for the 30th Nigerian Economic Summit and other key officials throughout the planning period for the summit. We say thank you. I will also like to appreciate in a very special way institutions, corporate organizations, and individuals that contributed financially and morally towards the success of the summit. We appreciate and cherish the generous contributions of our sponsors, including in-kind supporters, Stanbic IBTC, Flour Mills of Nigeria, PLC, MTN Communications Nigeria PLC, First Bank of Nigeria Limited, Sterling Bank PLC, Bill and Melinda Gates, Africa Finance Corporation, Shell, APM Terminal Nigeria, Tropical General Investments, McKinsey and Company, and IHS Nigeria Limited. Others include Nigeria LNG Limited, Africa Practice Google, Coca-Cola, Royal Netherlands Embassy, Nigerian Bottling Company, the Bank of Industry, and Nestle Nigeria PLC. Not forgetting also Rockefeller Philanthropy Advisors, ASO Savings and Loans, the Citibank, Keystone Bank, Union Bank, Ernst & Young, Red Star Express, Lagos Business School, Verake Partners, Development Bank of Nigeria, KPMG Professional Services, and Macallan. Furthermore, let me also appreciate our esteemed foreign guests, resource persons, chairmen and chairpersons of the different sessions and panelists. You brought your wealth of experience and have contributed immensely to the success of this summit. We especially thank the co-chairs, public and private sectors, and all members of the Joint Planning Committee and other officials who worked assiduously to make this success a resounding, and this summit a resounding success. As they say in Nigerian parlance, well done. I also wish to express our sincere thanks to our friends in the media for always being very supportive. We salute your objective and untainted reportage. Finally, I will not fail to thank all our most valued participants for attending this summit. I trust that we're going back more determined in our resolve to collaborate for growth, competitiveness, and economic stability of our dear country. I thank you all, and I wish us journey messages back to our various destinations. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pamsek. The fourth panel discussion here today was on tackling hunger. And I look into the room, nobody looks hungry. But the reason why I'm saying this is that my father once told me that those who are great are those who plant trees under whose shade they are not ready to sit. You are doing all of this, not because you are hungry. You are doing it for those who will need it. In a second, I'll just tell you the story of an athlete who was going to the Helsinki Olympics in 1958. 9 days to the Olympics, they called him that the wife was about to give birth. So he was torn between either going to the Olympics or going to the hospital to wait for the child. He chose the child. He went home. 28 years later, that young man wrote a telegram to the father and said, "Dear Dad, the Olympics that you missed because of me, I'm bringing the gold medal home." We might be talking about 30 years from now, but what you are doing here, this room, is not for now. Those who will bring the gold medal home will clap for you in 30 years. So I'd like to say thank you to all of you. It's been amazing being here. My name is Ebere Young, but it will not be nice to close without calling Deji to say goodbye to all of you in different languages. Deji.
Maoga, thank you very much. Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for being a part of the 30th edition of this conference. We're super delighted having you stay 3 solid days here. Well, it is finished, and we're expecting you here back next year, correct? D'accord. Nous sommes très heureux pour savoir que vous êtes ici avec nous pour la 30e édition de cette conférence. Mais on a commencé, c'est 3 jours, on a fini maintenant. Et comme on dit en français, bon voyage, bon voyage. D'accord, applaudissez s'il vous plaît. So we're going to go French, right? Their conference is voorbij. Thank you. Now, let's come to Nigeria now, right? Mungo de wa Allah yanda muka fara wannan abin nan taro mai muhimmanci tun shekarun jiya ma muna nan to yau kuma mun gama lami lafiya. Mungo de wa Allah to ku je gida lafiya. Allah ya saka muku da alheri kamar yanda muka yi addu'o'in mu a can Lagos, a Koba, a Daba. Na san ku ke nan arewa ba ku saba da shi ba amma mun saba da shi can ko bari mu maimaita muku a Koba, a Daba, Olórun má jẹ́ kárí. Adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún àǹfààní aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ tí a ní láti wà níhìn fún ọjọ́ mẹ́ta gbáko. Adúpẹ́ pé darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa. Ohun tó bá ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ó láti lópin. Adúpẹ́ pé a parí gbogbo ẹ̀ láyọ̀ àti àlàáfíà. À ń retí ní ọdún tó ń bọ̀. A jọ gbádùn ètò kí wá jẹ́ pé àkọ́wà pé àtọ́ a máa sọ nǹkan tá a sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ àtijọ́ gbà pé a ó wà yọ̀ ní abẹ́ẹ̀kọ́. Kò ní ká tún máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bá ṣe ń ṣe 30 years ago. Ẹnìrí wa. it won't be fair of me to now finish and say I'm going. Hey, Oba Konka, Ogarankoma, Okwaiba Weba, no Okwaya. So let's just do something to make you know we are Nigerians are very energetic. You say so Africa has all it takes to succeed, right? Igbo Kwenu. Kwezionu. NESG. Kwezionu. Ekele diri Chineke, anyị emesigo, anyị ga-ruo ebe anyị na-aga n'udo, udo dịrị unu. My name is Adedeji Otulesi.
So on behalf of the polyglots and on behalf of the prettiest lady amongst us, Mojisade, amazing broadcaster, amazing MC, it makes some of us who are a bit ugly look very pretty. Thank you, Moji. You've been amazing, and that's an MC for the future. Shall we all rise for the national anthem?